Who would have known that this version of Lightning McQueen, Cryptid Buster, would end up becoming the most tame, like the most normal of the McQueen variants in Cars on the Road. I mean, before this was actually pretty edgy and wild and foreign to us. It's very reminiscent, actually, of the Radiator Springs 500.5 Lightning McQueen. Both are off-road. They both have some extra equipment up top. And yet, looking back now, this is just like, yeah, that's nothing. I mean, heck, we got a caveman Lightning McQueen. We got a deputy Lightning McQueen, and coming we have an apocalyptic road rumbler Lightning McQueen. So yeah, this is pretty wild, but probably the fourth most recognizable version of him in the series Cars on the Road, because you have those three that are just so iconic that I just mentioned. But nonetheless, this is the third of those three that they've released. Rumbler McQueen is in the next case, case G. This one just came out of case F, which I unboxed the other day. I'll leave the link for that in the description below, and card suggestion pop up in the top right hand corner. Definitely check it out. It's probably the best case this year. It's probably the best case of the last 2 years. It might even be the best case of the last 3, 4, 5 years, because it has 8 brand new cars in it, and that just does not happen. Let's dive right in though. Let's not waste any more time. I really do like the artwork for him. It shows off everything as it should, and I see everything pretty well reflected on the diecast. Obviously, we'll take him out of the package and compare him to how he's supposed to look in the episode, but he's looking pretty gosh darn good right now. Now, obviously, this is a brand new release for 2023. Yes, 2023 has been pretty good so far to us, especially for Cars on the Road. They haven't come out with anything really new for the other movies, but that is to be expected in the wake of a new project. After Cars 3 came out, we didn't get anything new for the other films until another year or so. And same thing with Cars 2. And that was honestly the longest drought of other movie stuff. Well, I guess there was only one other movie they could have pulled from, but they had Toons. And they just focused on Cars 2 for 2 years straight. He does have a unique expression that I'm excited to check out. On the back here, obviously, as seen in Cars on the Road, it would be hilarious if, for whatever reason, they get that wrong and put, as seen in Cars, or make a Cars on the Road one and put it, as seen in Cars 2. I only say that because they messed that up with, some other characters. They put Kabuto on the back of a Cars 3 package, and we all know that that is not true. And so, who knows? Honestly, I don't think they could screw it up that badly, but wouldn't put it past them. On the back here, you can see Claire Gunz'er, who I will be reviewing very, very soon. I am super pumped to review her, so definitely stay tuned for that. Kirsten Marshall we did back in December. Deputy McQueen and Maypillar Derev were in Case E, the case before this, and I'll leave the links for them in the description below as well. You have Doug Crankle, the zombie, up there. It's funny, I actually just found him. You don't see him, but I have him in the background. I just found him today at Walmart for the first time, so that was pretty awesome. It's rare that I find new cars in the store. Now, I know you guys are always like, you see all sorts of good stuff in the hunt episodes. I don't hunt that often, so when I do find something new, it's pretty significant in my life. I celebrate it, have a couple beers with it. Anyways, now this is the biggest inclusion on the back here. It's Cryptid Buster Mater, the Mater version from the same episode. And he's been on the card backs for the last 2 cases, and yet we still don't know when he's coming out. He's not in this case, and he's not in the next case. When will he be released? I would assume very, very, very soon. He also looks great, and it'll be awesome to have these two together. Would have been nice if they were in the same case, but Mattel doesn't like to be clean like that. They like to spread everything out and release it in dribs and drabs. But before I open this guy, I want to shout out GetMeCollecitlbes. You can check out his eBay store linked in the description below, or email him. He'll probably have this case in soon. Or if you just want to check out his eBay store and literally order anything that's ever been released before within reason. We don't probably have any canceled card. Well, obviously that hasn't been released. So yeah, have at it. He's got it all. I'll be right back with this all opened up. Here is the man, the myth, the legend. Haha, get it? out of the packaging. And there he is in the legend. Yeah, that is the name of the episode, the Cryptid Buster episode. It's kind of a weird name because it's not really referenced in the episode itself. It doesn't seem super apparent, like Salt Flats, Salt Fever. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, you have trucks. Well, that's literally the name of the episode. But this one, they didn't name it anything related to Bigfoot or the Cryptid Busters or Hunters. It's called The Legend. So, yeah, he looks pretty good. Looks pretty accurate to me. I can't see anything wrong with this guy yet. You know, we're going to check him out up close and scrutinize him. But for now, I think he looks pretty good. Let's take a closer look. So first off, we're going to look at his expression. It is unique, like I said. This is the newest Cars on the Road McQueen, the road trip variant. And then you have the original road trip variant here on the right. So they all kind of live within the same space, like they all are smiling in some capacity. But the Cryptid Buster McQueen definitely has the most hesitant, the most apprehensive smile of them all, which totally makes sense because he is, you know, he doesn't want to do this. He did not want to hang out with Griswold, Clutch Humboldt, and Margaret Motorray. He was like, I don't want anything to do with you guys, Mater. This is supposed to just be you and me time, right? And Mater's like, let's be spontaneous, right? And so, bam, they're out there hunting Bigfoot in the woods. So he's a little nervous, and eventually, you know, he gets separated from the group. You guys know that, though, I'm sure, because you've watched it. So, yeah, you know, definitely in the mouth there and in the eyes, you can sense his nervousness, which I think, you know, it's hard to convey that on a die-cast car, and they did a pretty good job with it. Now, what immediately strikes and pops off to me is the different coloring of the hood logo here. So you could see it's much brighter than the previous two versions of Road Trip Mater. It's like this is when the sun's out, and then this is like it's partly cloudy. Those are some huge differences. I would also say that the on the road text is a little bit harder to read than on the original version. So that's a little disappointing. I mean, I don't see any reason as to why it should be like this. You know, maybe it's a little dirty from being out there in the woods, but it shouldn't be like this, right? And yeah, it's not like they changed this recently on the previous version of him. Now, this is brand new for the road trip or the Cryptid Buster version of him. So a little disappointed about that. I don't think the logo is quite, you know, to the point it should be, but, you know, that's obviously not what we're really here for. We're here for all of his doodads and whatnot. But yeah, I do kind of like how the hood is nicely carved out there. It looks legit. It looks fresh, crispy. Same thing with the headlights there, which I think honestly look better than on this original road trip version of him. Excuse me. They look pretty much the same as the new version of Road Trip McQueen. Moving to the side here, he's got his red rims. Now, yeah, Thailand has always kind of struggled with their rims, as you could see, like on the inner wheel well part of it. They have a lot of like granular paint. You can honestly even see it up here in the fender. But yeah, it's just not solid red, and they've always struggled with this. But if you look at like dead on like this, it looks pretty good. If you look at it from the side, you can see all those little particles in there. I'm sorry, guys. Got a little something in my throat today. Now, what I love here is the camouflage on the side. It looks really good, actually. You know, it's supposed to be a little cloudy like that because, you know, you got to blend in with the elements. And so I think they did a great job replicating that. Starts here, ends right at the gas cap. And let's take a look at that logo. So I'm pretty sure it says Wayne County. Yeah, I think it says Wayne County. Again, kind of hard to see, which is disappointing because it should be clear. And then CBC, Cryptid Buster Clan. I don't remember. They never really called out what CBC means. Cryptid Buster County? No. You guys let me know, what does CBC stand for? Maybe I'm just having a brain cramp here, but I don't remember what that means. But I do think that, yeah, I'm almost 100% confident that says Wayne County Cryptid Buster. I think they might say it in the show because I know that they did say Wayne County in the show. But yeah, I like the wings on it. Kind of reminds me of Vulture from the Spider-Man movies. But yeah, it's supposed to kind of represent some sort of beast. Looks pretty good. And then here the back looks the same as any other version of Road Trip McQueen with the small 95 logo. those bolts attaching the spoiler to the body are a little bit lighter than they have been before, so that's something to note. Now let's take a look at all of his doodads here. So he's got this light bar up top. This is a plastic piece that is attached through a hole on the roof there. As you can see, there's a couple parts where it attaches and clamps in. It looks really good. You know, obviously it's plastic, it's not die cast, but the lights there look detailed. They're textured. It's not just one whole bar with paint over it. They pop out the back here too, which looks good. And he's got a little bin, a little suitcase, some luggage, some extra materials and resources up here. It's kind of like a plastic block with some straps on it. And then of course the antenna, which looks really good. It's a little bendy, as you would expect. Yeah, they don't really do antennas on cars anymore these days. You know, stick around. At the end of the video, I will provide some bonus content. I'll compare this to the antennas that they've done. You know, the only other antennas truly that Mattel have done, which are, you know, they did do one on the Precision Series Sheriff, but in terms of regular releases, you have Mike and Dee Dee from To Protect and Serve, and you have Pat Traxon. So yeah, it's really nice that they included that. I always get a little concerned when it comes to antennas if they're going to attempt them or just, yeah, it's a little stringy piece, forget it. But no, they went the full 9 yards, and I'm really happy about that. Now, what I'm not happy about is the color changer version of him that is going to be coming out very, very soon. I'll put a picture of it there on the screen, but you guys probably have already seen it from my reveal video that I did over a month ago now, like a month and a half ago. Yeah, so it doesn't have any of his apparatus. Now, you can argue this is when he was captured. You know, he lost this stuff. IB stripped it of him. And yeah, that's a good point, but that is not then Cryptid Buster McQueen really anymore, because he's not busting any cryptids. He's captured by Cryptid, quote-unquote, Lightning McQueen. So yeah, and Tomica did the exact same thing. There's a picture of that. They already did their versions of Cryptid Buster Mater McQueen, or as they just call them, Hunter Mater McQueen. They look absolutely god-awful because of the fact that they don't have, again, any of their, you know, materials, any of their special features that really make them desirable. Like, otherwise, they're just kind of like camouflage McQueen and Mater. So, yeah, Mattel absolutely knocked it out of the park with this release. They nailed it in terms of accuracy, and I couldn't be happier with this car. You know, again, I knocked the decal on the hood, but that's pretty much the only thing that I would complain about. This is a pretty perfect release overall, and I am super grateful that they did it, and within a pretty reasonable amount of time, because I remember, you know, last year things were looking a little bleak. We were 1-2 cases into Cars on the Road, and we had like Royce Revsley and Cruz and K-Pillar to Rev, and it's like, hey, those are great, but we want the amazing Lightning McQueens and Maters that appeared in the show, and slowly but surely they're coming out with them. A little bit slow on the Maters, I must say. They're really front-loading with the McQueens. They'll have all 4 of the McQueens out before they even touch the die-cast versions of any of the corresponding Maters. Think about that, guys. The 4 McQueens that I mentioned, you have Deputy, Cave, Cryptid Buster, and Rumbler. The counterparts of all those in terms of Mater would be the same, all the same names except for President Mater, and they don't have the diecast for any of those out yet. Obviously, they have Color Changer President Mater, they had Mini Racer Rumbler Mater and whatnot, and Mini Racer Cave Mater, and I know they'll do them all as diecast, but you guys know what I'm saying. They are clearly Materist. You know, they're showing some clear favoritism toward McQueen, but I do want to compare him real quick to that off-road McQueen from Cars. You know, the Radiator Springs 500.5 shorts. Both of them have light bars and similar ones, you know, with the red like roll cages up there. The one in the off-road tune is a little bit more intense. As you can see here, it has some more bars crossing. It has the tire there on top. This is almost like a visor, like this is a separate piece from the roof piece as a whole. And he obviously doesn't have the off-roaded treaded tires either, so that's something to note. But the Radiator Springs 500.5 one doesn't have an antenna or the luggage piece. So yeah, there's that. And I also wanted to compare him to Miles Axelrod, the Outback version of him that was canceled, because they both give off similar energy. No pun intended again. Similar vibes, just in the fact that they're, going out into the wilderness and carrying a bunch of stuff. And again, they both have light bars. I'm telling you, this Outback Miles would have been such a great release overall. I mean, just look at how well detailed it is. This is nothing, this video has nothing to do with Outback Miles, but this is truly one of the best canceled cars ever. It has an antenna. They even, look how detailed the spare tires are there and there. Oh my God. All right, I got to put them away before I lose myself. What the hell am I doing? All right, guys, thank you for watching. Wait. Griswold, we cannot go without showing these two absolute chads together. Griswold and McQueen. What an iconic duo. Honestly surprised that they didn't do a 2-pack of them together. That would be pretty cool, actually. Yeah, both of them have roof bars with some sort of luggage up there. Griswold's a little bit more decked out with the camera, the microphone, and then the big light. But yeah, they both have the same decals. Would have been cool if they gave McQueen muddy tires, now that I think about it. They probably should have if they did for Griswold, because they're out there together, right? So wherever Griswold's going, so McQueen is just following. So I don't know. That's probably my only critique in terms of the decisions with it. I just think the decal came out a little poorly, and yeah, should have probably had muddy tires. You guys let me know in the comment section below what version of McQueen from Cars on the Road is your favorite that they've done so far. These are the 3 most iconic so far. Then, in a month or so, we'll have Rumbler McQueen to add to this. Right now, I think my favorite is Cave McQueen. It's the heaviest. It just looks the most raw. I mean, because clearly it is. It's carved out of a rock. So really a big fan of that. But they all are awesome. They've been nailing these. And it really, when I say that Cryptid McQueen's probably my least favorite of the 3, that's saying a lot. Truly, that is, because this guy is going to trump a lot of other cars. So, yeah, see you guys later, but bonus content time. All right, McQueen, it's time to see how your antenna stacks up against your competitors. The first contestant is Pat Traxon. And oh no, he's got a baby antenna compared to McQueen. Look at that. It's like 1/3, maybe a little bit more than that, the size of McQueen's antenna. McQueen's also is shaped. See how it has the bulge there in the middle? So yeah, McQueen, you win that antenna battle. Pat Traxon, get out of here. We have Dee Dee and Mike. Now, they each have 3 antennas, but they're even smaller than Pat's. As you can see, Pat's is a little bit bigger. Not by much. Now, these, I'm not going to lie, are pretty amazing cars. They're super underrated. If I were to do another Forlorn Favorite season, they would absolutely be in it together as a review. I mean, look at all the doodads they have on them. Almost kind of looking like Griswold here with this side piece. Yeah, almost looks like a camera or a gun. But yeah, McQueen, you do win this antenna war as well. And then last but not least is Sheriff here, who has gray antennas, but they're still plastic. They're a little bit more flimsical though, not quite as firm. This is the Precision Series version of Sheriff though. And yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of the one we just saw on Outback Miles that is in silver as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And before Bigfoot here absolutely stomps on McQueen, I'm going to sign off. See you guys soon for another video. Bye now.